Hey everyone, Extreme Crypto here with a bit of crypto news. What's been happening in the last 24 hours? But let's look at the biggest one I could find. Bitcoin overtakes Facebook in market capitalization and key points. Now, if we look at the markets and what they're saying, the rise in Bitcoin value came after a period of drought caused by China's decision to ban the cryptocurrency. The past few days have not been great for Facebook. After the crash of the social media app WhatsApp and Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg's personal fortune was reduced by nearly $7 billion. And now the platform has lost its position as the sixth most valued asset in the favor of Bitcoin. Bitcoin, which today is almost synonymous with cryptocurrency, has left Facebook behind in terms of market capitalization. According to 𝙏𝙗𝙧, Facebook has been pushed to the seventh position with a metric 360% increase in the value of Bitcoin's asset over the past year. For the same period, Facebook only grew 22%. With this massive growth, the sixth biggest asset in the world currently. Who's next? Before Bitcoin on the 𝙏𝙗𝙧 list are Amazon, Google, Saudi Aramco, Microsoft, and Apple, which is first on the list at of 3:30 p.m. on October 7, 2021. Apple had a market cap of 2.348 billion, while Bitcoin has a market cap of 1.022 billion. Facebook has been valued as having a market cap of 953 billion. So overtaking Facebook, taking the sixth position, the next target is silver, which is just ahead of Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin overtake it? Will Bitcoin become the number one asset over time? Leave me your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think? Next one, three fundamental catalysts are driving the current Bitcoin rally, according to banking giant JP Morgan. Market analysts from JP Morgan say they are identified three reasons behind Bitcoin's latest surge. In a note to Business Insider, the banking titan says that one catalyst of Bitcoin's recent rally from the 40,000 level to 55,000 is the growing belief that it's a better inflating hedge than gold. Institutional investors appear to be returning to Bitcoin, perhaps seeing it as a better inflating hedge than gold. The re-emerge of inflation concerns among investors has renewed interest in the usage of Bitcoin as inflation hedge. Since the beginning of 2021, 10 billion has moved out of gold ETFs, while 20 billion has gone into BTC funds, according to the bank. According to JP Morgan, another reason why BTC skyrocketed past the 1 trillion market valuation involves the recent statement from SEC Chair Gary Gensler that the US would not be following China in terms of crypto regulations. Now, this is a big statement. That means the US won't be banning crypto at all. The recent assurance by US policymakers that there is no intention to follow China's steps towards banning the usage of mining of cryptocurrencies. Lastly, JP Morgan says Bitcoin is climbing due to the growth of users of the Lightning Network, bolstered by El Salvador's adoption of BTC and legal tender. The Lightning Network is a layer 2 payment protocol built on top of blockchains such as Bitcoin that increase transaction speeds. According to El Salvador's president, 2.1 million Salvadorians are actively using the state-sponsored Chivo crypto wallet just 3 weeks after its launch. BTC exchanging hands out $55,406 at the time of writing, according to CoinGecko. This is major movements. If people's taking their gold money into cryptocurrency, gold might be the next one in danger of becoming less value an asset than Bitcoin. Will that ever happen? Well, only time will tell. Bitcoin long-term holder supply shock hits new highs, signaling new trajectory for Bitcoin bulls. Bitcoin long-term holders supply shock hits new highs. Factors that could very easily propel the bullish price breakout are a lot. Very recently, the long-term holder supply shock made it to the list, and market players have since been riddled up. While short-term supply is usually indicative of traders who are mining their assets in a bid to make quick profits, long-term holder supply showed the number of Bitcoin that are yet to move in the last few months. The long-term holder supply shock, the image below shows that 2019 long-term holders have yet to give into the bears. As an on-chain analyst has shown on different occasions this year, long-term market players are clutching tightly to their Bitcoin. On the other hand, newcomers have been credited with the majority of the sell-offs recorded during the previous bear markets this year. Now, if the long-term supply is locked up and so many coins haven't moved for the last 2 years, will we ever see an 85% drop again? I doubt it. Long-term holder supply shock has reached all-time highs. Each time the metric has reached the upper bound of the highlighted green range, we've seen major price appreciation over the coming months. Buckle up. This might be the biggest indication we had so far that $100,000 Bitcoin might be the next target. Former Goldman Sachs explained why his crypto portfolio is 70% ETH and 5% Bitcoin. As reported by the Daily Holder, with regard to the outlook for the global economy, Rand Paul said, "The work that I've been doing suggests that the likelihood is the global economy shows down pretty significant into next year. And again, we might see more stimulus and more physical stimulus coming as well. So I look at it very differently to what most people are seeing. But on the horizon, because of the fiscal cliff, we've got like 3.5% of GDP coming off from the fiscal cliff. We've got all of the spending brought forward that everybody, including me, did up their houses over the previous year." He also said, governments has now realized, and the central banks, that they can't let the collateral go bust. The asset side of the balance sheet is not allowed to fall in price, because if not, you get a big margin call on the economy. So it seems to be that debasement of currency to drive asset higher, optically, is the only answer they've got now. As for his crypto portfolio, Paul said, "My current allocation is probably 70% ETH, 5% Bitcoin, and then a tail of others. So why that allocation? It's nothing against Bitcoin. It's not against anything else. It's because I'm a financial markets guy and we use risk curves. So at certain points in the cycle, in the middle of a bull market, you want to take as much risk as possible So you want to go to the more speculative end of the market. I've isolated the fact I thought Ethereum was going to see further flows. It's early in its adoption cycle, and that would probably drive prices further than Bitcoin, and that seems to be playing out. Shows an indication of why some people is taking the opportunity and putting more money into Ethereum than Bitcoin, as mentioned by Roll Paul. Another bit of Ethereum news, and this is major news. Ethereum miners are holding almost 2 billion in mining rewards. Ethereum is up to $3,480, the coin's highest price in 16 days. Notably, miner balances have continued to skyrocket, sitting on 532,000 Ethereum. It's the largest balance held by miners since July 13, 2016. While nothing that the current balance is 532,000 Ethereum, the analyst platform unscored the value of these coins in quickly approaching 2 billion. Ethereum's price rallied 10.32% in the past 7 days period, recently crossing the $3,600 mark. The reluctance to sell mining rewards indicates a strong hold mentally amongst Ethereum miners, who are ordering roughly 0.45% of the crypto's total circulation supply, currently at 117.7 million. Those mining Ethereum are not the only ones anticipating further price growth, recently data shows. Despite the high gas fees and intensifying competition, the network settled 6.2 trillion over the last 12 months, signaling a 350% increase, crypto analyst company Missouri revealed. Meanwhile, a recent survey by CoinShares has uncovered that funds managers keep increasing their Ethereum holdings as well, citing the most compelling growth outlook. Hash rate, its all-time high. The Ethereum hash rate, a measure of the computer functional power per second, which indicates the network's vigor and security, dropped following the miners' exodus in China, falling to 477 terahashes per second in late June. But the main thing we need to realize here, with the miners sitting with so much Ethereum, and we've seen the different mining pools manipulating the market before, won't this be an indication that the miners are getting ready to dump a lot of Ethereum when the market reached the right price? I'm not selling my Ethereum, but I'll keep an eye on it because there might be an opportunity to get in for cheap again. And our last bit of news. Dogecoin rival Shiba Inu lambasted by Michael Burry of The Big Short. Scion asset management head Michael Burry has made more enemies in the cryptocurrency space. This time, the famed American investor, who was portrayed by Christian Bale in The Big Short, riddled up the rapidly growing Shiba Inu army after describing the high-flying Doge knockoff as pointless in a now-deleted tweet, where he took with Shiba Inu's gargantuan maximum supply of 1 quadrillion tokens. 1 quadrillion days is 2.7 trillion years, or all of time for the beginning of the universe, multiplied by 71,000, in other words, pointless. Shiba Inu surged by over 300% last week, attracting plenty of headlines in the mainstream media. The rally has now come to a halt, but the Dogecoin offshoot remains the 20th biggest cryptocurrency at the time of writing. British cryptocurrency skepticism is not limited to obscure cunning altcoins. In June, when Bitcoin was in the middle of a price correction, Berry predicted the mother of all crashes before issuing a warning for a trapped Bitcoin bull. He then doubled down on his bearishness by posting a head and shoulders pattern when Bitcoin was trading below $34,000. Those who paid heed to Berry's tweet ended up missing out on significant gains, with the largest cryptocurrency recently recovering to highest levels since early May. Why put something down which is growing? It's an interesting fact. I don't have Shiba, but I've been looking at it and it just keeps on growing. Is Shiba the next Elon Musk coin? Have a great one. Take care.